I'm going to show you one of the ways that I make a really nice lasagna. The first thing I'm going to do is pop a little bit of olive oil in there. Not too much, just a little bit. That on a sort of medium heat. Just going to pop in, I'd say one small onion really, sort of finely chopped. Give that a quick stir. Really, we want to just make this a sort of light golden brown or soften it really. So I'd say about 4 or 5 minutes or so. Yeah, make sure you give the onions a bit of a stir. Next thing we've got going in is the garlic, but I've been cooking these for about 2 minutes, so just do it a little bit longer and then we're going to pop the garlic in. Now we're just going to pop in the garlic. I'm using about 2 cloves of garlic and I've crushed those, so just pop them in the middle. Don't overcook the garlic, otherwise it's going to burn and taste a bit bitter. So just mix that all together now. And what we're going to do next is to put the beef mince in there. I'll just make a little place in the middle for that. Okay, I've been cooking that for 4 or 5 minutes, and now what I'm going to do is put in some beef mince. Now this is really lean, so quite a lean sort of mixture here. We're going to give that a stir, mix it all up with the onions. I'm just going to make a little place in the middle there. So I'm going to put some really nice sausage meat in there as well now. I've got about 3/4 of a pound of sausage meat. Now this sausage is actually a sort of smoky flavoured one, so I'm just going to mix this up, try and break it down and cook it until all the pink's gone and you feel that it's cooked really. So I'll just keep on mixing this up. Now with the sausages I'm using, I've taken the skins off the sausages. Now, I mean obviously the ones I've bought, they've got a mixture of red peppers, onions, paprika and a little bit of chilli even. So I think this is looking good now. So I think we've sort of finished stirring that and we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. Now at this stage it's a good time to check. If you've got too much oil in there, you can always tip it out. Okay, I've checked my mixture and really it's not too bad. There's not too much oil there, so I'm going to now add the rest of the things. First of all, I'm going to add a good pinch of salt. I'd say like a teaspoonful really. Good dose of that. About half a teaspoon of black pepper, and again about a teaspoon of, I'm using Italian seasoning here. I mean most of this is oregano, but you've got a little bit of basil in there as well, and a couple of other Italian herbs. So mix that all together. So I'll just give that a quick stir up. Get all those seasoning mixed up. Smelling good already. I'm going to add some what they call passata. This is like a tomato sauce really, but not like ketchup, but it's just a tomato sauce. So I've now mixed in 1.5 pints of tomato sauce, passata they call it, and also I've mixed in about 3/4 to a whole tube of tomato puree. That really sort of richens it up and thickens it all up. So what I'm going to do is get it up to a boil, give it a stir, and then we're going to let it simmer with the lid off for at least half an hour, maybe an hour, and really nice and thicken up. I've got all the meat sort of cooking with the tomato sauce, so now what we're going to do is get on with the white sauce. Now I'm not going to do a bechamel sauce like the traditional way. I'm going to do it slightly differently. Firstly I'm going to add 2 eggs, some nicely fine chopped parsley, quite a bit of that, because I think that really adds a nice flavour to it. Then I'm going to add some cottage cheese. That's 1 tub. I'm going to add about 1.5 tubs of that, so just getting the next one ready. That's it. Good splodge of that. I'm going to add in a whole tub of ricotta cheese. So mix that up. So there's slightly more cottage cheese in here, but just mix this all up, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this as well. So I'm going to give this a good stir, and this is going to be our white sauce. Got it all mixed up, and really that was quite simple. It saves a lot of messing about, but it's a really nice flavour actually, because the thing about this one, we're trying to do a slightly smoky theme and all the cheeses, so the cheese is going to give it a nice flavour. The last thing I'm going to add to my white sauce is a good portion of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to give that a quick stir up. Get it all mixed in, and then we're ready to assemble it. We're just waiting for the meaty sauce now to sort of simmer away. You can simmer in mine for nearly an hour, so I think this is pretty much ready. Now, what you want to do at this stage is just give it a little taste, so see what it tastes like. It's nice and thick, but let me taste that. I think we need a little bit of sugar, because I think the tomatoes and that, they just need to be sweetened a little bit. Obviously do that to taste. I'm going to use brown sugar, but you can use white sugar. Just sprinkle it around. I'm using about a dessert spoon, but like I say, you can always add a little bit, stir it, wait a few minutes, and then taste it and add a bit more if you need to. We'll leave that for a minute. Now we're pretty much done, so we're going to start assembling the actual lasagna. Okay, now we've got the white sauce and the meaty sauce with the tomato sauce all ready to go. We're going to start assembling the lasagna. Now I've got my dish there. I mean, I would say this is about 13 inches by 9 inches wide. This is going to serve a good sort of 6 to 8 people, I would say. You don't have to, but I'm just going to put a little sort of wipe of olive oil just around the edge of the pan. Never hurts. Just don't put a lot in, because you don't want it too greasy. And what we're going to do is add in some of that tomato sauce with the meat. I mean, the reason we're putting this at the bottom is because it stops the actual pasta sheets, you know, the lasagna sheets, from sticking. So the next thing I'm going to add is some fresh pasta sheets. Doesn't matter if you can cut it up if you want, but that's fine like that. Now on this first layer, what I'm going to do is just add in, this is like a smoky cheese with a little bit of paprika. They actually call it applewood, but I mean, with the cheeses, I just want to kind of get a little bit of a smoky flavour in this one, so we just put some of those on as the first bit. The next thing we got is that white sauce we made, you know, with ricotta and cottage cheese, a bit of parmesan. What you want to do is just spread this all out. That's great. Just sort of layer over the pasta really. Into that, if you've got any mozzarella cheese, grated mozzarella, that's great. Now, we've done the first layer, so the next one is, I'm going to pop the fresh pasta again over there. So with the next layer, what I want to do is put double the amount of the meaty, sort of saucy stuff we've done. So there's a good layer there. So the one underneath is a bit cheesy, and this one's a bit meaty. I'm going to just add a little bit of cheese on top of there. So I'm just going to put the remaining white sauce mixture we've made. Try and spread it out and make sure it goes everywhere. And with this one again, just put a bit of mozzarella if you got it. Now we're on to the third and final layer. So again, lay your pasta along there. So we're just going to pop whatever meat we've got left now. So I'll just spread that across and try and get it evenly coated. Now with the fresh pasta, I've got a fairly thick sauce, but if you was using the pasta that you didn't have to boil, I'd recommend you just have a slightly runnier mix, add a little bit of water really. Now I'm just going to finish off and again just sprinkle a little bit of cheese on there. Try and spread whatever you've got there evenly. Obviously with all this cheese and stuff, you know, do it to taste. And then what you can do is just finish it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And there we are, we're ready to put that in the oven. Okay, now I've got lasagna all prepared. We're actually going to cover it with some tin foil, pop it in the oven. Got it in at 190 degrees centigrade, which is 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to cook that for about 45 minutes and then we're going to pull it out. Okay, I've been cooking for about 45 minutes. I'm going to pull this out a little bit, so you can see. Take the tin foil off and then cook it for another 20 minutes just to brown the top off. So I'll just pop that back in. Okay, I've been cooking mine for 20 minutes, so I'm going to pull it out. Oh, it's hot. Look at that though. That looks absolutely delicious. I'll pull this right out for you. You can see it's got a really nice crusty top. We're going to pull this out and leave it for about 15 minutes to sort of settle down and it'll be absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm going to cut my piece of lasagna there. Cut this across, nice big bit. And what we're going to do is serve it on a plate. Well, I'm just going to cut a bit open. That's really nice actually. All those flavours, delicious, absolutely delicious.